In game, my name is Lileden. I actually go by Gigs or Giggity though. Originally, when I came over to the guild, I was on a priest named Giggity, and the name stuck. But with Mop, I swapped mains to my balance druid, Lileden. Originally, I was feral. I actually play feral balance and resto on her. So I've been playing since June of '09, right after I graduated high school. So I'm a Wrath baby and haven't really taken any breaks in that time at all. So I've been playing pretty much nonstop for 3 years, going on 4. I joined completely different in January of this year. I came over to be Phalanx's arena partner. But about 2 months later was when I applied to raid with Completely Different, and I've been raiding with them ever since. So first and foremost, with any dot class, you need a way to monitor your dots, and that's a big part of balance, especially as far as maintaining and keeping your Sunfire and Moonfire up, especially depending on the eclipse. The dot of the two as far as your solar versus lunar. The other thing, and it's not really a secret, it's just something that a lot of people can get lazy or sloppy or just kind of forget about, but maintaining and balancing your eclipses and making sure that you aren't casting a Wrath in a lunar eclipse or you aren't casting a Starfire in a solar eclipse, it really does help in a long run. You just have to be on time with as far as when you're procking eclipses and paying attention to where your solar and lunar energy are at. And there are a couple add-ons that can help you with that. Mine personally, I have it built into my UI, so I've used the same UI since the start of Kata, very end of Wrath actually. I use LUI. I love it. It is extremely easy to use. It's very simple. It's very sleek, in my opinion. Um, and as far as just from the basic download, I don't do much to it, to be honest. I use Voodoo rather than their actual frames or grid, which is with the download, I believe. Um, I do not install Recount. I don't like to use in-game meters. I find them distracting. I actually just live log, and if I need to tab out to check a death out or check to see if maybe my uptime on dots, if I feel like I'm not doing well enough. But other than that, I just move the cast bars around, change the font to make everything look pretty if I feel like it. But that's really it's a pretty basic UI, so. Okay, so like I said, I am a Wrath baby. I didn't start raiding until, or I didn't start playing until 2009. When I hit 80, it was a couple weeks before Trial of the Crusader came out. So the amount of Ulduar that I got to see consisted of maybe up to Freya. I think I killed her once. But even then, TOC was out. So while I would love to say that Ulduar is my favorite raid instance, I feel like because I didn't experience it at current content, like I definitely went back in there, but I didn't see Yogg or Algalon or even General until ICC days. Um, so if I were to choose just going off of raid instances that I have been there from the start to finish, I would definitely choose Blackwing Descent. Uh, T11 in general was my favorite tier of this expansion, but um, something about Blackwing, like all of the fights were different. You know, you look at Throne and just everybody was annoyed by that instance. And you look at Bot and the first two bosses were just a complete joke. And then you get to Ascendant Council on Heroic and it's like impossible, you know, when it was current. But Blackwing, you know, it was able to be finished by most guilds. It was extremely fun. It was different. Brought back Onyxia, and honestly, the heroic Nefarian fight itself probably is what made that instance for me. As a healer, just the electrocutes in phase one to pillars to healing that kite tank in phase three was just really, really intense and fun as a healer. So I would definitely say Blackwing Descent was my favorite instance. So over the past day and a half, I've been farming lockboxes for Ravenholder Rep, and it has been the most annoying thing in the world. Um, I farmed the rep just kind of off and on up until recently, and then I finished farming two revered probably like 2 days ago with the help of a guildie, and then started to farm lock boxes. And I actually got to the same guildie and then one other guildie to help me do that as well. And even with the help of two other rogues, it takes almost 1,300 lock boxes to pickpocket and just going through Blackrock Spire and just doing that over and over again. I think one of my loops consisted it takes about 20 minutes to go from start to finish, and it's really rough. But I love achievements, and I love, you know, that's part of the game that I play for, not only rating but achievements and 60 exalted reps. Ravenholt's a rep that I can get, so I get it. So uh my guild in T11 decided to do heroic Throne of the Four Winds before some of the other heroics that people did. I remember heroic Maloriak and heroic Chimeron, and all those were usually done first. But after Chimeron, we went straight to Conclave. And I was on Nazir's platform with our Feral Tank and our Resto Shaman. And it got very repetitive on that platform. I mean, Nazir was the boring one. Rohash, you've got the Storm Shield and the Wind Blast, and Anshal, you've got ads kiting going on, and he heals, so you've really got to push out the DPS. Well, because our platform was so boring, and because most of the wipes weren't due to our platform, our Feral Tank got very lax and decided one attempt that he wanted to type out Journey lyrics in slash say. And I was just sitting there humming along to it, you know, reading what he was saying, healing. It was very robotic at that point, and an ice patch spawns on him. And on Heroic, the ice patch, I believe, does a stacking debuff where after a certain point you can't move anymore. So he got stuck. And I was on my Disc Priest at the time, and so, you know, Cataclysm, first tier, I'm all excited about this ability called Life Grip. So I life grip him out of the ice patch because he's stuck. He can't move. Well, the moment I life grip him, Nazir does a frontal cone and kills myself, our tank, and our other healer, and we wipe because of Nazir's platform. And it's just it's a funny memory that to this day, you know, if I run into him or see him, all he'd have to do is say I'm stuck and I would immediately think of it. So it was pretty funny. Um, so favorite memory would definitely have to be in the same instance as my funniest. My very first realm first was Heroic Alakir. I had worked my way up in Wrath, but I hadn't been in like a top three guild until Cataclysm. I actually got into the top guild on Khadgar at the start of the X-Pack, and we got our Heroic Nefarian realm first taken from us by a 10-man guild. So we decided to spend a couple Saturdays on Heroic Alakir on 10-man, primarily a 25-man guild, and try and get that one before they could. Uh, and we got it. We got it in 2 Saturdays, actually. It was a lot of stress as far as RNG goes with that first phase, but it was my first realm first, and I will never forget it. It was a really awesome feeling, not only getting the achievement, but being an Orgrimmar afterwards with the title and knowing that, you're one of 10 people on the server right there that has it, was just a really awesome feeling, and it was a big step for me as a player too. So I live in the middle of nowhere. I live in central Illinois. There's not a lot around us. We've got Chicago like 2.5 hours northeast-ish of us, and that's really it. Uh, I live with my sister and her family, and just a normal small town day-to-day life. I don't do anything. Um, and yeah, I really don't do anything. I babysit around the neighborhood. Um, that's how I pay for internet and going out, and that's it. I just play this game. I play other games. I play League a little bit. I played Diablo for a bit. I'm really good at Words with Friends on Facebook. I'm a Scrabble master. But that's it. That's all I do. Okay. Okay. So I have a laptop. I've always had a laptop. I love having a laptop because it's very mobile. Maybe one day when I'm more settled down and have my actual own place and not living with family, I will have a desktop. But um, I've got an Asus laptop. I love it. It works great as a gaming computer. I usually have it either on this tray table, it's on one right now, or I'm sitting on a couch right now that reclines back, and sometimes I'll just sit with it on my lap. Um, and that's usually how I raid. I've got a Logitech headset that's broken right now. You can't see it, but trust me, it's very uncomfortable. And use a Razer Naga mouse. I love it. Uh, I definitely recommend it for any gamer, honestly. I mean, if you can get used to the buttons on the side, it definitely has helped me improve in my gameplay. So, um, so like I said, I don't do a lot. There's not much to my life, but I guess if you want to count music, I sing, I play multiple instruments. I was one of those band people in high school. Uh, can't believe I admitted that. Um, but I played flute and piano and I sing, just in general, my entire family is very musical, so I always have been. But I definitely can appreciate a lot of different kinds of music. And in fact, it's very seldom when I don't have music playing in the background. So, so technically throughout this entire video, I've been lying to you without you knowing it. I wear glasses. So, I didn't want to wear them for this specifically because with the laptop and the screen, it gives the worst glare ever. But so that in case for some reason a couple or a year from now, you're at BlizzCon and you remember this video and you're like, hey, this is me. I wear glasses. I do not actually have contacts or have perfect vision.